very pleased to introduce Diane Landry here this evening in her first solo exhibition in Calgary. We met just over a year ago when Diane was in Calgary for the O Canada exhibition at Esker Foundation, and she came into the gallery the day before the opening. I did not know who she was. I had not heard of her before, and she very graciously waited until we had talked some time to drop the bomb that she was an artist. The next day I went to the opening at the Esker and was blown away by her piece. And as fate would have it, we ended out developing our relationship, and now we are very proud to represent her in our Calgary and Toronto galleries.
Very good.
As you can see, Diane is quite amazing, inventive. She has a very mixed practice of kinetic sculpture, like the piece behind us, which relates quite directly to the large installation she had at the Esker. Some of you may have seen that installation. It was entitled Night of Infinite Resignation, and it was multiple wheels like this. It was a stunning and magical room. She also does performance work and video work and installation, and there's actually quite an assortment of these pieces in the gallery tonight.
The way I'm working, it's always like a link, like I do a project and it's bring me to make the other one, and the other one make me to doing the next one. So for me it's kind of always the same project, but try to see it in a different way. So this is kind of other way I try to do the same, to see the same thing like I did with the Knife of Infinite Resignation. I'm always working with object already exists, something you know, you recognize, and I try to make it, you see it in a different way, but try also not to modify, at least as possible. For example, for this project, you know, I want you recognize the bottles, the water bottles. I don't want to put a color to make it more beautiful or something like that. I want you to recognize that. You see a bicycle wheel, it's a bicycle wheel, but all together makes something new, maybe you never see before. Well, I was thinking when I made the first version, well, the big installation, what it will be if instead to have sand in the bottle, what will be if it will be a water? What will happen? How the wheel will alive? But I don't want to make an installation with that. And I'm just thinking, oh, maybe I can try it and doing it with the idea of water, but I changed for mineral oil because water will disappear after a while, and I like the way the oil is moving in the water so we can see it, and also when the wheel is in the dark it makes lots of reflection like water. So this is kind of, when you do a big installation, how you bring that in a private gallery. And I know people sometimes want to live with your project, but they can have not a big installation. For example, this project, I call this project Exhaustion, is a big, maybe you don't see the scale of it, but it's really big. The net, the diameter is 15 feet diameter and it's 9 feet high. And it's made with more than 2,000 plastic fork-knife and a spoon, all attached together with a paper clip. So this is kind of big, and this project is moving up and down. So I need at least 18 feet high ceiling. So it exists now also because I know people cannot maybe sometimes want the project, but they don't have a space. So this also exists as like a kind of documentation of the work, but I think you can see it like a project, and if you don't know what it is, you see what you want, and I'm totally fine with that. So you see here another experience of this work, as more like a painting moving, something like that. And I call that Project Parachute Road. So this is my kind of a new project, and it's made kind of a mix of object I use for performance, but I play with that in a different way. And also you see kind of a sketch or model of sculpture. Some never exist, just exist as a maquette, and finally, I do something else. And so I just, you are in my studio seeing me playing with my little sculpture, moving it. And for me, the performance brings me to work with time's aspect. Because when I did my study, visual art was talking mostly about space, not really about time. How you play with space, okay. But how you play with time, not so much. But I think now it's changed. And because when you do a performance, of course, you don't have a choice to find a way to play with time. So I want to add this aspect in my installation. And it's why I start working with sequence and time and motion to bring the time aspect in my project. I call this project Icebreaker. The origin of this project was really a performance. I present this project, the performance 3 times. And the first one was in Quebec City. We have an artist-run center in the hill, and it was with all window around. And I want to make this gallery look like full of water. I did the performance. It's a 2 hours performance. I'm rowing 2 hours, and the gallery was full, with the plastic. Nobody can go in. So you see me outdoor. So I asked someone to put a camera exactly there, and they put the camera, play the camera, and lock the door. and came back after 2 hours. And after that, I say, okay, I can do it. I was happy. So the video after that, I was, maybe the documentation is a piece in itself. And for the performance, you never had this view. The view you had was impossible to have this view, so it's kind of also another view of the performance people never see. I remember one fall, I had a big exhibition in Shanghai, big museum, big event. And when I came back, the next week I went to Sudbury to do an exhibition in an artist-run center. And for me, both are important, both was great, but in a different way. So for me, if I can have access, to give access to the people to art, I don't care if it's a big place or small place, I think everybody needs it.